Hi guys, so today I'm gonna react to some compilation of the No Kings protests that happened on June 14, 2025. There have been several cities across America, many people protesting based against Trump, who's acting like a wannabe dictator slash king, and he had his own military parade, which was a failure because people barely anyone attended. In comparison, a lot of people protested against him more than actually went to his military parade birthday, which was a good thing. I always agree with protests. I have no issue with protests. Protests are peaceful. Riots are violent, but sometimes situations happen why riots are good. A lot of times riots can also just be faked and to make it look like the protest became violent. Why it became a riot when that's not the case. But let me start with reacting to the video. This is this one video gonna react in several cities across the United States, June 14, 2025. Philadelphia. So this is Philadelphia right here. Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania, PA. For those people who don't live in the United States. Chicago, Illinois. That's a lot of people too. Witten. Not as many, but quite a bit people on the sidewalk. Boston, Massachusetts. To the rainbow flag. Nashville, St. Paul. A lot of people too. Cincinnati. A lot of people. New York. That's also expected there. Grand Rapids. San Diego. It's nice seeing a lot of these people really go out of the way to protest. Los Angeles, the big one, right? That Trump has been going after with trying to send the military, including the Marines, to stop it. Mhm. Look at the Trump. I love how they're making fun of Trump a lot. Look at this. Really funny. No king, yep. Leave this for that video. This is from Reddit. Someone posted a compilation of this back in June 14, 2025. There's another one in YouTube Shorts about what Newark did because Newark, New Jersey also had their own protests, which is also not surprising. A lot of people in these blue states are very left leaning in comparison to obviously the red states. I agree. Impeach Trump. He should be impeached. Not just Trump. His entire administration, Trump and his administration should be fully and indefinitely impeached. None of them should ever be allowed to be running for office again. They should not be in power. They've been doing horrific things to American citizens and residents, all of them, and they all conspiring together. They should be impeached, and preferably also be in prison for life. I agree, and Trump must go. But I hope the focus is not just on Trump because even impeaching him is not enough. He'll just be replaced by JD Vance, and it's gonna keep going the cycle. If you get rid of JD Vance, you still got Michael Johnson, right, in the House of Reps. So you gotta keep that in mind. You gotta impeach a lot of people who are conspiring with Trump. It's a lot. It's going to be Trump, his entire administration, and multiple Republicans in Congress as well. And not saying just Republicans, there's some Democrats that also conspire with him that need to be also impeached. But it's mainly Republicans who are very hardcore with just following orders from Trump and not actually servicing their constituents, the people who actually voted for them to have that position. And this is where Trump is really backfiring. His actions are backfiring because he's going after Democrats, blue states, immigrants, whether they're documented or undocumented immigrants. It doesn't care. He'll make them undocumented by getting rid of the legal status, like TPS, the temporary protected status that people had. That's a problem. This is what Trump's been doing. He's going even more hardcore than his first term. He's doing ice raids in ways that, yeah, Obama was more efficient, but Obama wants to stop a lot of people trying to cross the border illegally right at the border instead of just separating families and just call it a day. Trump is just doing things that are very brutal, very Nazi. Like there's also very inefficient. He's making his administration look really bad, as it did in the first time, and he's just not following the proper due process procedure. If he did, most people wouldn't care as much. They will kind of ignore it. They'll focus on other things. But he's doing things so illegal and just getting away with it that he keeps pushing to the next level because no one's stopping him. Unless we had a Supreme Court actually does something, and even if Congress goes out of their way to impeach him and his entire administration, this will keep going. It's not just Trump. It's going to be J.D. Vance. It's going to be Steve Miller. It's just going to be the next person who's going to keep going with the cycle of Trump's actions. So you have to get rid of the entire administration, every single one of them. Then go into Congress and do the same thing. It's tons of people that you need to get rid of and not allow them to ever be able to run for office. I like how the dogs did too, protesting along. I really respect people who do these things because honestly, not always has the time to do it. Sometimes we have things already we prepped for the day that we were gonna do with family, friends, whatever the case may be. So I really respect people who are protesters who go out of their way, endangering themselves to do this because really these people are the real heroes. These are people who are not getting paid to do this. No one's paying these people to protest, right? As far as we know. People are going out of their way to protest against Trump. Millions of people across America. And there are also some support outside the United States, right? We have some Canadians who are supporting us to go after Trump and his administration, to impeach them. We also have people in some European countries doing the same support as in Australia, in certain Central South American countries, in certain African nations as well, Middle Eastern countries. Some people do support us. It may not be the majority of people from that country, but at least we're getting support outside of the US, right? We have Mexicans supporting us in Mexico. We have uh, plenty of British people also supporting us. We have plenty of people who are not even part of the European Union, besides the UK, like some Norwegians who are supporting us as well. Some Swedish people. There are people who are supporting us not just nationwide, but internationally wide as well, which demonstrates to Trump that hey, we don't like you, and not just you, but his entire administration is conspiring with him to keep doing these illegal actions, destroying trade deals with country. I'm sure China agrees with these protests. This is great for China because as much as they keep fighting back against Trump, it's also good for them to have American citizens agree that he needs to be removed. China, like many countries, like stability. They do not like constant changes and change your mind every month, every week. It doesn't work for them. These are people who want consistency. They would last longer than the US. China's been existing as a nation for what, at least 5,000 years, if not longer. They can deal with depression uh, in economic sense. They can deal with recessions during economic crisis. They can deal with pandemics. They can deal with a lot of crap and still survive. There are billions of people living there. They have what, 2 billion people live in China. They have the numbers to survive, to keep down the flow of taxes going, to support the infrastructure, and a lot of the people in China will do a lot. If it means that in the end they will stay on top, they will be fine. The country will not collapse. They still have the culture, the tradition. China has the consistency, the stability, and power, authority to do that. They base invest in many things. Many countries rely on China to make stuff for them all the time. They're not gonna go away. America is different. We don't have that centralized collaboration as much. China does. Chinese people is mainly just 2 billion people live in China. It's basically all the same people with the same culture, practically similar mentalities, not always the same. But when you have people who are based the same race or similar races and based the same race, maybe different ethnicities, but same race, it's a lot easier to control and follow order. US, we're a very diverse country, a melting pot. You have people who are immigrants. It's an immigrant based country. We have people from all over the world. You don't have centralized collaboration. Like like Japanese people tend to do what they need to do to keep Japan a certain way. Same thing with China. Same thing with South Korea. For the most part, as they tend to be just them in those countries. US doesn't have that. We don't just have one particular group and we all just work together. We all have different mentalities and different upbringings, different cultures, traditions, races, ethnicities, gender, sex, etc., which is fine, but it's very hard to have all of us agree on something. Even in November 2024, it was super easy to go against Trump, and 89 million people didn't vote. Could prevent all this from happening, right? We could be moving forward incrementally, but at least we'll be moving forward, positive incremental changes. It will be good. It won't be dramatic immediately, but at least we have something going straight, going forward. Maybe bringing back abortion rights as a legislation and signed into law. We could have done something with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Even though they're not as left leaning I would like them to be, at least it's something better than Trump and JD Vance, right? And yet 89 million people didn't vote. And less people voted for Kamala than Biden. We have what? I think 81 million people voted for Biden. This time around, I think it was 74 million that voted for Kamala, 76, 77 million voted for Trump. It demonstrated that a lot of people just don't take voting seriously. They don't see the bigger picture in the long term. They see things, I don't get what I want immediately now, I'm not going to vote or going to do a protest vote, whatever it may be, right? And I mean, people didn't vote. That could have voted, they're registered, they were legally able to vote, they're American citizens. Those are the people that have to focus on explaining why voting matters, why running for office in a progressive style, preferably as left leaning as possible, really makes a big difference. Going for things like, oh, I'm going to implement ranked choice voting, universal healthcare based on single payer system, that free lunch for kids. Those are things you want to kind of have. Universal healthcare, universal free lunch, ranked choice voting. Those are things that should be having your platform, regardless if a local, state, or federal position you're running for. I don't care if you're running for a mayor position. I don't care if you're running for, say, legislature, Congress, president, governor, whatever the case may be. You should have this type of basic, it's literally basic rights that you want to implement officially as a legislation to sign into law. That's what you should be doing. And until you really have those people, I know it's understandable why so many people are not going to vote at all, or they do protest vote, which is understandable. But these are the consequences. And I mean, people voted differently. Yeah, we will have Kamala and Tim Walz, maybe not enough positive changes that are really big, but we could push them to do more than Trump. We could push Kamala to maybe improve at least the funding for Medicaid, for Medicare, maybe provide more work from home options for federal government employees. Maybe do better trade deals with Canada, Mexico, China, and other countries instead of just getting this pointless tariff war bunch of nations. That doesn't help American citizen residents. It does the opposite. It makes things more economically difficult. It makes companies nervous, especially companies that are not big, and they will do layoff to kind of survive. They can't afford to have so many people, and they don't know if the economy will clash. So they have to figure out ways to make sacrifices, compromises. Who are going to suffer the most? Poor, working class, middle class people. The rich and the wealthy are going to be fine, but the majority of the population are not going to be. And the people who suffer the most are always the people who make the least. So we gotta keep that in mind. So people like these protesters are, in my opinion, the real heroes, and not cops who are the enemy of the people. Really, they protect property for the most part, not the people. And of course, the billionaires, the wealthy. You might have people like Trump, who's a billionaire, aka the enemy of the people. It should be very easy to work together against the common enemy. But some people, unfortunately, are easily brainwashed. They also it ties a lot to misogyny and racism and xenophobia. People don't want to talk about it, but it's very obvious this country is very racist, very xenophobic, and very sexist, very misogynistic, misogynistic way of thinking. It's something we have issues with, and that's why we have problems. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you agree with any of these protests, if you don't agree, we can maybe talk about it, debate. If you do agree, let me know why. I agree with them for very obvious reasons, but we can have a discussion and go from there. Um, and for the people watching this, if you like and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. It helps me know if you like the video and how many people want me to continue to make this type of videos. If you're watching this on TikTok, follow us on TikTok. Same thing there. And like I said before, I have a Patreon. If you want to support, it's $1 a month. Just spirit to support. $3 tiers for exclusive content I'll be making later on. And that will be helpful for me to have an idea what people are actually enjoying and liking me to do. So basically, I just hope that everyone has a safe and good day. And let's keep this up with the whole protest against Trump as long as possible.